This is the COMA Girl Daily Podcast, written by Stephanie Bond. December 4th, Sunday. The door to my room opened, and when I heard the bootsteps on the floor, so did my eyes. Hi, Marigold. I'm Jack Terry. Holy testosterone. The man is a specimen in jeans and a black fleece. Now that I'm back in the long-term care ward, my bed is slightly elevated so I can see without people standing over me. And the tall, bulky detective is definitely a treat for the eyes. Poor Carlotta. He grinned. I heard you woke up. I try to smile and feel my mouth twitch. Under the covers, my toes are also curling. Those are some pretty green eyes, he said, coming to stand by my bed. He held up a potted red poinsettia. I brought you a plant. The nicest Home Depot had, but not as nice as all the flowers you've received, I see. The area next to the window was overflowing with plants and flowers from well-wishers, but none were more special than his gesture. The black-eyed Susans around his houseboat must be gone. Or maybe the houseboat was gone. If Jack was spending time at Home Depot, maybe he'd bought a fixer-upper. I've been warned not to stay too long, that you have a physical therapy session. But I needed for him to stay long enough for me to somehow communicate to him at this very moment. Sister Irene was holding a man captive at her home and torturing him. I wasn't as concerned about saving the life of the man who'd murdered her sister as I was about saving Sister Irene's life. If she killed him, it was so clearly premeditated, she'd probably get the death penalty. If Jack got to them before she killed the man, the most she would be found guilty of would be kidnapping and general bad nun behavior. On the other hand, if word got out I'd heard everything being spoken, discussed, and confessed over my bed and in my room over the past few months, how would my friends and family react? Jack himself might be uncomfortable knowing I actually remembered all the personal things he'd related about his own life. The nurses say you can understand me? He asked. I blinked twice. That's a yes, I'm told. I blinked twice. Good. Has anyone told you what's going on with your case? I blinked once. I thought so. Okay, so your sister finally admitted she was driving your car the night of the accident, not you. I suspected as much, but the forensics hadn't come back yet, and I was hoping Sydney would come clean first. And to her credit, she did. I blinked twice. She could be charged with filing a false report and obstruction of justice, but I doubt the DA will prosecute. But the drugs... My heart skipped a beat, and he must have seen the alarm and question in my eyes. You don't know about that either. I blink rapidly, so shocked. I can't stop at a single blink. He sighed. Sydney had a side business on campus selling amphetamines, in part to pay for her own addiction. My mind raced, sorting through disparate pieces of information. Sydney's phone had been confiscated after the accident, yet she'd had a phone all along. An extra for her business? The call she hadn't been able to ignore the night of the crash. The cryptic conversations I'd overheard about a project, her occasionally manic moods, the slurring of her speech the night she'd tried to smother me, and the remarks about feeling so much pressure to excel at school, at life in general. Apparently, it had all been too much for her. Sydney was arrested this morning, with possession and intent to distribute. But I arranged for her to turn herself in to try to keep it as quiet as possible. Still, the media will know soon enough. My heart squeezed for Sid. She must be humiliated, and my parents? Devastated. Tears gathered in my eyes and spilled over. Little whimpering noises came from my rusty vocal cords. I know, Jack said simply. Then he pulled a folded white handkerchief from a back pocket of his jeans and dabbed at my tears. I'm sorry, too.
Hello, this is Stephanie Bond, author of the COMA Girl Daily podcast. Do you know someone who might enjoy this story? Since the podcast has been running for a while, this is the perfect time to invite friends to binge the episodes and get caught up. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you helping to get the word out about COMA Girl.